Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. I'm Lakeisha McKnight, and I'm glad to be here with each and every one of you who are on the podcast platforms. And you're tuning in from Africa, you're tuning in from China, you're tuning in from Asia, and all other countries around the world. Listen, I appreciate you all. And as a matter of fact, look, I'm going to pull up my app that I have on my phone, and I'm going to check out some of these stats here, and hopefully I can do it without some interruption here. So let me pull this thing up really quick because I do want to acknowledge some of the countries specifically that's tuning into the show. And I definitely do appreciate you all. I really, really do. And to show that, that's why I wanna definitely pull this thing up here. So let me go ahead and do that. Bear with me a little bit as I'm searching for it. Here we go. All right, here we are. Here we are. So I want to pull up the geolocation on my app here. And so what I'm finding out, of course, for those of you in India, thank you so very much for those of you in India tuning into the podcast. Of course, those of you throughout the United States, thank you so much. Those of you in Germany, Canada, Norway, Mexico, El Salvador, Portugal, United Kingdom, Singapore, all of you, thank you so very much for plugging into the podcast and this brand, Leadership TKO. Tell your friends to plug in as well. I appreciate you guys. I thank you so very much. And listen, if you want to connect with me on Facebook, I know I may be running out of friend spots, but I would love to connect with you all. All you need to do is send a message, a friend request to www.connectwithlakeisha.com. Connectwithlakeisha.com, and we will connect further. So again, I appreciate you guys. What we're about to do right now is go live on Facebook for the video version. And so please stand by. All right, everybody. So again, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome everyone to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. Welcome to the show, guys. It's 7:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's an honor. It really is an honor and a privilege to be before each and every one of you on tonight. I'm going to, of course, giving it a couple more seconds and allowing this to populate. And listen, and I know Facebook is letting people know that I am live at this particular time. And so I welcome each and every one of you here to the show. I do this show every single night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single night. Okay, every single night I'm here with you all on Facebook and on the podcast platforms out there, several platforms this particular podcast goes out to. And so I want to share just a little bit of stats as well before I dive into the mission of the show. We did some reviewing at the very beginning, but I realized, of course, on my special app that I have that we're reaching a lot of people in India. So for those of you on Facebook and you live in India, thank you so very much for plugging in. Like, you're the most listened to country for the podcast version, the audio version. So thank you. Of course, those of you throughout the United States, those of you in Germany, thank you so very much for those of you in Germany tuning in, Canada, Norway, Mexico, El Salvador, Portugal, United Kingdom. Thank you so very much. Those of you in the UK, Singapore, and a few other countries who tunes in on a day-by-day basis. Thank you so very much, everybody. The mission of this show and the brand, Leadership TKO, really is to empower leaders like yourself with the ability to win from the inside out, growing your influence, your impact, and your income. So welcome, everyone. This is for men and women alike. And so I'm excited to be here with each and every one of you. Now, there are a few ways to participate with the show. Number one, be sure to like or love this stream, okay? Like or love the stream as you're tuning into it. If you're looking to grow your influence, right? You want to be able to help others to get to their next level, whatever that next level would be for them. If you're looking to impact more lives, whether as a coach or mentor, if you are in any other capacity, a consultant, listen, you can do that. And we share with you how to do that here with the show. And then lastly, look, if you're looking to grow your income whereby you're creating residual income so that you don't have to work until you pass on. Listen, this is the show to be connected to, and I welcome you here. All right. I do welcome you here. So definitely, you're in the right place at the right time. There are a few things you can do. As I said, like or love the stream. Secondly, you can comment below. Go ahead, comment. Let me know what city, state, country you are tuning in from, right from the inside of this comment section. Let me know where you're watching from, where you're listening in from, city, state, and country. And if you're catching it live, so you want to put hashtag live, or if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Okay? Hashtag replay if you're watching after the fact. Okay? And it's okay. It's okay. I know we're in different time zones, so go ahead and do that below. And if there's anything else you would like to share in an interactive way, you can do that below as well. The last way to participate is sharing this thing out. So share this out with your friends, your colleagues, direct message, all of the above. So listen, many of you've probably seen the title, right? The truth about Lakeisha McKnight. This is the title of this particular stream tonight. Sometimes you got to break away from doing the normal, right? And do something a little different, kind of let your hair down a little bit. So you'll understand who the person is that's speaking before you, right? That you're tuning into on a night-to-night basis. And so I want to share with you a little bit about my story, understand how I got to where I am today, right? And how it always wasn't this way. It always wasn't the case where I was home with my children, being able to be with them, pretty much the whole day and not have to exchange hours for dollars. You see, I was born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey. Many of you know, right? You know where that place is, Paterson, New Jersey, here in the United States. That's where I was born, of course, a couple minutes outside of New York City. Okay, being plugged in, being connected there. That's where I was born and raised, most of my family. I'm not going to give you the drawn out experience, but life hasn't always been grand. I'm not going to, of course, weigh you down with a whole lot of the hurdles I had to overcome, having to overcome abuse, having to overcome, the mental struggle that came along with that. Many of you probably know that, right? So if you've gone through certain situations, if it was traumatic, it definitely impacted it, and it could have caused you to go in a totally different direction, right? How many of you have experienced hurdles in your life? Go ahead and say, I have. Right? If you've experienced any type of traumatic experience in your life, go ahead and comment below, I have. I don't need to know specifically what you overcome, but go ahead and say, I have overcome hurdles, traumatic situations, whether it's witnessing domestic abuse, being a victim of domestic abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, whatever it may have been. Okay. It could have been just a very bad marriage. It could have been anything. All right. And so listen, that's where I was born and raised that way. I wasn't always born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't born into a wealthy, rich family. It was a middle class family. They had jobs, okay? Right? But I always knew that there was something different because I always struggled with trying to fit in with the crowd. And I could never really truly understand why there were situations where people would just shun other people away. That burdened me a lot, even as a kid. I never understood that. I was like, why would you separate or kind of segregate people and kind of put them in different categories? That just didn't make sense to me. My thought was everyone should be treated the same. That was my mindset, right? And so, of course, I went through and I had, of course, different situations that have happened. Of course, relationships, not to go into all of that, right? But I knew, the standard. Go to school, get a good job, right? Graduate. And that's what I did. I did graduate with honors, but it still was preparing me to get a job. Okay, it was preparing me to get a job. Now, I'm not knocking and being employed or having a job because it takes care of responsibilities for you and your household. But what about a dream? A job versus a dream, right? See, the dream was being smothered by the system. The system was saying, go do this, do that, do this, do that, and you're going to live the American dream. But my dream was deep rooted because, of course, I sat back and I thought about it. I went to Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School. I went to Rosa Parks Arts High School of Fine and Performing Arts, a history, a legacy of dreaming and standing upon what was right. Doing what was right. That was what was birthed in me. That's the legacy that I was a part of. And of course, thinking about, just all the things that have transpired in life and the things that I've encountered, within the city, being an inner city kid, I always knew that there was something different, something that I was specifically called to do. And so I went through school, of course, confirmed a few things, got involved with ministry work, got involved, of course, with motivational speaking and theatrical work. I did some acting for about 4 years, had a theatrical coach, okay, and then went forth with speaking, and it seemed like it happened almost overnight. Now, let me tell you how this happened really quickly. And it was because I knew that there was something greater and I had to get the message out. Okay, that in the middle of the mess, although it seemed like a mess, there's a message in the mess. Okay, and think about that word message. All right, the root of it, the first couple of letters is mess. There is a message within the mess that you've encountered in life. The situations, their experiences, the traumatic situations. There's a message in that, and someone needs to hear it. This is what helps you to connect and relate as a leader, being able to share your message. Okay, so yes, and then of course, connecting with various people. I was connected and really raised with my cousins. Many of you know the one cousin I'm about to refer to, Mr. Taylor. He shared with me some information, and we had done some other things in the past, business-wise, but he shared with me some information about what real money was. And at first, I didn't jump full force with it, but it almost was like it was calling me in a sense that because I was focused so much and became connected to the John Maxwell team, and I was working and doing my nonprofit, and I should have said work in the nonprofit because it really demanded a lot of my time. And so I was, of course, self-employed in the sense because I was involved. I was doing the work and I wasn't necessarily making money while I slept. And it wasn't consistently. It wasn't consistent. And so understand something. If you have to be involved and you're constantly doing or engaging in a task, right, to be able to generate income, you're a slave to your passion. Okay. And if you're not making money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So that's the question. I had to sit back and think about, am I going to continue to do this for the next 5 to 10 years where I am sharing my passion, I'm sharing my message, and I'm going and traveling in different places of the world. And yes, it's beautiful, but not at the expense of the time that I could be taking, of course, and placing it into my children's lives, being with them, being with my husband. And so that's the first place where I would want to serve. And so I knew, my husband and I, we knew we had to do something different. And yes, I skipped the part about meeting my husband, right? And all of that. And so I'm sharing this with you because I got connected to this profession and I became serious about it throughout the last couple of years. And my husband and I, we've been able to become wealth mentors to many. And so what it has done for us, being connected to this amazing family called Wealth Builders Worldwide, it enabled me to be able to be fully present with my kids. My husband and I, we make money online. Many of you know we are online marketers. Okay, we are. We consider ourselves to be network marketing professionals. We consider this to be a calling for us, right? We're serving people and helping people to build wealth and establish and generate cash flow. And so, yes, we have moments where we're doing extremely well. And it's not going to be, of course, a perfect line in business. But we've had $1,000 days. We've had $500 days. Okay, several $1,000 and $2,000 days because of what we do with network marketing and online marketing. And so we learned this along the way through the mistakes we've made and through the coaching and the training that we've acquired and we've obtained. And so, listen, you want to think about this question for yourself, and this is what I'm leading to. If you, for example, just like I thought about it, if you keep doing for the next 5 years what you've done for the last 5 years, would you actually achieve your goals? Answer that question for yourself. What are you doing right now that if you keep doing what you're doing right now, would you reach your goals? Would you have reached your goals in the next few years? Because if the answer is no, you want to do something different. You want to, of course, establish or obtain a plan that's effective, that's going to help you to reach your goals. And I have obtained a method. I have, of course, a resource that's helped my husband and I to get to where we are right here. And now, of course, reaching more people. The big question that I asked some people the other day, I said, if you were to, do a one-time acquisition, take $150 one time to put yourself in position to generate $200,000 in the next 9 months, would you do that? Because the truth of the matter is something massive is happening, right? And it is readily available for those who are serious about achieving their goals within the next 9 to 12 months. And if that is you, you want to definitely find out and get more information. And that's all we're asking. You can definitely inquire about information. Reply info below. If you want to learn how to potentially generate $200,000 in the next 9 to 12 months, if you want someone like myself and my husband to be your mentor, to help you generate cash flow, to help you build wealth so you don't have to work until you die, reply info in the comment section and we'll be in touch. Now, if you're watching this on someone else's timeline, you want to ask them because they may be a wealth builder as well. Okay? So listen, this is a little bit of information about Lakeisha McKnight. There's more that I can share, but of course, I don't want to weigh you down with a big old drawn out story. But just know, because I connected and got serious about the network marketing profession, and because my husband and I were doing this in agreement together for now a little over 14 years, we being married and in business together. We're helping people and we have a passion to help others to be free. If you want financial freedom, we can mentor you and help you to get on the path to freedom. And so listen, I appreciate you all for tuning in to the stream on tonight. Be sure again, for those of you who are looking for $200,000 within the next 9 to 12 months, reply info below, and I'll be more than happy to share some details with you, right? And to put you in position to get access to some information. So listen, I thank you, and we'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m., right here on the timeline and, of course, other podcast platforms. And so until the next time that you and I come together again, I do encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone, and God bless.